Aquarius, Ali from Indigo Ascension. Welcome to your weekly quick read for the week beginning October the 4th. Got quite a lot going on up there in the cosmic skies thanks to all of this solar activity as well as 7 planets in retrograde, but that is soon to shift. But this week let's focus on just a couple of placements. We have a new moon in Scorpio, and we also wanted to focus the other half of this reading on all of these placements in Libra, because it's significant, all of this air stuff that's been happening. Like I mentioned last week, that grand air trine is taking us up into the realms of the mind in many ways, Aqua. Firstly, this new moon in Scorpio is going to be lighting up your 10th house, my friend, which is the house of the patriarch. It is the house of success, the house of the father. This redefinition of success can happen, you know, quite amazingly in the 10th house. Looking at this concept of your business or what you would like your career to look like, okay? These are the things. Now, I want you to rewind the clock to a couple of weeks ago when Venus shifted into Scorpio. This receives a refreshing boost again under the light of this new moon with the moon shifting into Scorpio, or us experiencing a new moon in Scorpio. So what happened 2 weeks ago where you were sort of getting these inklings and desires, or something began, and perhaps in the recent 2 weeks you've learned something here, and something desires a new turning over of a leaf, or the next level or installment of this story. So I'll leave that with you. It's going to be different for every Aqua. Like I said, the other half of this reading is going to cover all of these Libra placements. We've got quite a condensation of Libra energy happening, and that's activating your 9th house. Now, when I'm working with 9th house and 10th house respectively, the 9th house rules all things learning, higher education, working with higher self, if I want to look at it from a soul or metaphysical level. But in very practical terms, it could also mean enrolling and learning something new, certificate courses, university courses. It is the journey of the sage, okay? It is ruled by... the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius. Sorry, at a moment there, I just had the tarot card, the Hermit, in my, because it is, you know, the Hermit card is also connected to that in some way. The house of Sagittarius rules travel and learning something new through exploration, okay? The house of Sagittarius. Sagittarius, the zodiac, rules all things of that nature. So when I'm looking at 10th house stuff, when I'm looking at 9th house stuff, is there something here to be learned, or has been learned, or desires to be learned when it comes to redefining 10th house energy, when it comes to this business, this idea of success, this career? Where do you have to start learning something new, or at least desire to learn something new? Because this energy has been floating around, this 9th house energy has been floating around and prompting you in the background all month, okay? And there are several planets sort of speaking that message in one way or another. This new moon is activating 10th house. So there's an opportunity here to really turn over a leaf and actually apply what has been learned in some way too. The way I wanted to structure this week's quick reads is to look at as above, so below. So I'm just simply going to do that with 2 different tarot decks. The first one being the traditional Rider-Waite deck, and also the second one is this cute little Journey tarot deck that I've recently come across with. I just love the contemporary sort of fresh energy that's coming from the depiction in the art. Like, I love her interpretation of the traditional tarot. Alrighty, so my friend, we've got the 9 of coins, we've got the 5 of coins, and the Page of Wands. There's a lot when it comes to 10th house energy, when it comes to outside of self. You know, I wanted to do as above, so below, because it's great to work with deep retrograde wisdom. Sometimes that can take a whole planetary transit to be able to integrate that wisdom, and more often than not, in our very human ways, Aqua, we are triggered by events and stuff outside of self that we are then forced to, and we are faced with making a choice which way from here. All right, that's why I wanted to do as above, so below. There is something to be said and certainly gained from feeling like a loss had happened. Now, take it back, however, you know, it has shaped you in many ways, okay? It has certainly shaped and impacted your beliefs around success and 10th house themes. But there's something here, okay, for a lot of Aquas where an exciting message opportunity has really been able to give you that boost and idea about what this can truly mean. Now, when I'm working with 9 of Coins energy, this is the entrepreneur. This is individually achieve success, making it on my own. There's so exciting messages here, and that might be something that's triggered for some of you guys, or that has happened in the past. When the Page of Wands show up, we certainly know that it is in its infant stage, yes, and it may not last the course until the King of Wands. So there might be some aquas that I'm connecting into where it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back in the realms of 10th house matters, this redefinition of success, this idea of successful career, patriarch energy, even depending on how you're sort of working with that energy. You've certainly learned from loss, okay, but now there is something to be learned from success and the very simple act of patting yourself on the back, and the journey to that can certainly be an exciting one. And for many of you, there might be something that has started or been sparked in the recent 2 weeks. Alrighty, stay with me. As above, so below. What this ultimately means for you guys, this deep inner work, all these shifting changes, and sometimes in our human ways we can only be focused on loss, yeah? All right, but when we go within, when we work with the deep retrograde energies, we have an opportunity to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You've got the Sun, you've got the King of Cups, and you've got the Queen of Swords. You know what? I love these 2 energies mixed together because they are the masculine and feminine of the suit that they represent. Now, the King of Cups, there's a whole new way to work with emotional mastery, all right, wisdom, not necessarily being overburdened. There's something here about the overburdened, of being overburdened by our emotions, okay? Bear with me, all right? Triggered by outside events, external circumstances. Change can definitely happen, Aqua, when we're dealing with loss, grief, and feeling left out on some level, okay? But then something shifts as we slowly work and integrate these bigger planetary retrograde energies. There's something here that was really calling. Now listen, you guys are the water bearer, okay? So the Queen of Swords, that's you, male or female, all right? You are the Queen of Swords. Okay, this is that no BS. This is that very clear boundary line. This is that very clear communication and mental thought processes, feeling clear and confident in myself about who I am, what I want, what I'm going to say yes to, what I will no longer say yes to. Okay, so take it however it resonates. But as the water bearer, there's been a journey here for many of you into the heart space, into the emotional world. Hence the King of Cups showing up. And being the masculine element, it was all about the action element of what that suit represents, okay? It's about the mastery of the heart. By the time I get, or our emotions, and we all know how valuable it is to be emotionally intelligent, okay? When it comes to truly understanding that our emotions are temporary. Ask any water sign. How powerful it is to know that they truly are fluid and we don't have to stagnate in old storylines, all right? Which by going through, using the emotions as key, by going through the heart and truly understanding that aspect of self, there's this new version of many aquas that has come about, okay? Regeneration, the light of the sun, the light at the end of the tunnel, this reinvigoration of feeling, renewed life force. And this reinvigoration of life force ultimately creates new beginnings, okay? In all things, 10th and 9th house matters. When I'm learning something new under the auspices of 9th house energies, I'm willing to learn something here, to ascend into this other part of myself. Maybe it was a part of myself I was avoiding for some time, okay? But it's this choice, this pathway of really looking at what loss has taught me, that I can come to new concepts and beliefs around what this now represents, Aqua, okay? Because I am working with 10th house energies, all right? This definition of success, yeah? And we can apply that to any area of life, all right, Aqua? That was your quick read for the week beginning October the 4th. Hope you got something out of that. I have relaunched personal reading sessions, and you can take a look at that in the bio link above if you are wanting to book. Until next week, my friend, have an empowered week and take care.